Howdy and welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy, and today we're taking a look at 3 random packages. I don't know what they are, but you're about to find out. And today we are opening up a couple of gifts that I got from my birthday. Well, it was one gift, but it comes with 3 different packages. 3 non-specific, just randomly labeled packages from a friend of mine, Lewis Lightning, which you might have seen on the channel one time if you watched me unbox a bunch of cards, Magic the Gathering, Ninja Turtle cards. He was on there, so that's who I got this from if you're interested in who I got these from. But yeah, he labeled these just 1A and Alpha and just put colors on them because he didn't want me to have any preference of which one to unbox. That's what he wanted me to do, unbox it for my channel for some reason. I don't know if he wanted to get a kick out of it because he knows I'm not going to know anything about these characters, or if he thought maybe I would actually quite enjoy these guys. So, I mean, how am I going to choose which one to do first? I think I'm going to go least favorite color to most favorite color. That's how I'll go. And so for me, it would probably be the yellow. It would be my least favorite out of these 3 colors. So that's going to be the one that we take a look at first. Just obviously that's the letter A. Let's rip this thing open and see what we got inside here. Let's go nuts. Marvel Legends. Oh, okay. We got ourselves a Wolverine from, it looks like the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. The yellow and tan, or the brown and yellow suit, whichever what it's called. Yeah, the brown suit, it says right there. So I don't usually collect the movie figures. There's so many of them out there, and some of them aren't done very well. This one, I actually do think it was done pretty well. I wasn't gonna collect it anyways. But you know what? I can always have another Wolverine in my collection. And I do know Wolverine is Mr. Lewis Lightning's personal favorite character, and he loves Hugh Jackman's depiction of the character. So it isn't really a big surprise that he would get me this. Maybe he's hoping I'll gift it back to him or something like that. But I don't think I'll be giving it back to him because I do like the look of this so far. But let's look at the packaging while we're here. So we got, obviously you can see Wolverine in the big window box right there. Deadpool and Wolverine letter on the bottom. Wolverine brown suit, it says on the side. You go to the back there, Wolverine brown suit. There's another picture of Wolverine. Marvel Legends. Go to the back there. There's a bit of a write-up. Well, while universe hopping, Deadpool's delightful, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, read that if you want to. It's right there for you. Some other images of other figures that are in this line if you want. There's also the Blade. There's another version of Wolverine. There's X-23. There's like a cowboy Deadpool. And then there's also Xavier's sister. What's her name? Cassandra. Then you go to this side, there's a nice big image of Wolverine, and then on the top you get the image of the Deadpool Wolverine logo, and on the bottom some just gobbledygook that you don't need to read, just some boring legalities and stuff. But without further ado, let's get into the packaging. And so looking at old Logan over here, we got him in the brown and yellow suit. It feels really good in hand. This is a good solid feeling action figure. He's got a good build to him, and I like there's a really good level of detail. Like there's different textures on him, and the paint work is really well done. It's actually a really fantastic figure. I'm actually quite impressed. They did a good job with this. But before we go looking at him too much, let's look at his accessories. And he doesn't come with a whole lot of stuff, but he does come with these extra hands. So one hand is just basically a punching hand. He's got a fist here without the claws sticking out. So it's just, if you want to have him, ready to punch someone, not clawing them, there's that option. Or there's this hand here. It's a grabbing, holding hand. Looks like a trigger finger as well too. So it looks like you could put a gun in his hand as well too if you really wanted to have him shooting somebody. Those are the 2 options you got for the hand. And then you got this extra neck piece here. So if you wanted to have his neck more exposed, because if you look at the actual action figure himself, he has basically a full collar all the way up to his cowl. So you can't actually see his neck exposed at all. This would remove that, and you could have his neck kind of more exposed, so it doesn't look like he's wearing like a turtleneck or anything like that. That's what this piece is for. And then alongside that as well, there's also an extra cowl piece. So it doesn't actually go on his face. This is one that you would have tucked in behind, like kind of like Wolverine does in the movie. He has it tucked in behind and he pulls it forward. Not that you actually see the cowl back there because he's hiding it the whole movie until he puts it on. And this isn't the suit that he wore, but obviously you would have an option to have the cowl. But the only thing that bugs me about this is that there's no optional face where you don't have the cowl, or it's like a Hugh Jackman face. There's no option for that. I don't know if there was another Wolverine that came out that gave you that option. Maybe they're thinking you'll buy both and you can swap the parts or something like that. but this Wolverine that I have does not have the secondary face piece, so I can't, putting the cowl on would make no sense, because then he would have the cowl on his head, plus the cowl behind him. That would make absolutely no sense, so there's no way that I'm going to be doing that, unless I happen to get another Wolverine in this line that has a secondary head to do that. But yeah, looking at Wolverine, he does look like he kind of did in the movie. At that one, what was that, like 30 seconds, if not probably not even that long of a scene where Deadpool goes into another universe to find another Logan, and he finds the brown suit one, and he's like, wait a minute, you're the Wolverine that is fighting the Hulk, aren't you? And then sees the reflection of the Hulk in his claws. That was a pretty cool moment. But he does look really awesome. I do love the level of detail, like the line work, just the way everything kind of works. It does look a lot like that Wolverine. But let's look at some articulation as well while we are here. So with the head, we're going to go forward like that, and then we'll go back like that. He's got some good movement because there is secondary movement in the neck, as well as a ball joint on the head. So he has some good movement back and forth, and then all the way around as well too. And then if you look at the arms, his arms have a decent range of movement. Like, they go up and down really well. He does have a butterfly joint, so he can move forward pretty well. And then he also has a bicep swivel. So there you go, you got a good movement there. Got double jointed elbows, so he can go ahead and scratch and, shave his own face if he wants to. And then he also has good wrist articulation, swings all the way around, and then they bend forward and back. Not too bad. There's a bit of a hindrance right now because it's a bit stiff at the moment, but they do move pretty decently. And if you really wanted to, these claws don't need to be on here. You can remove these claws, but then you kind of have this big gap in their knuckle. It would look kind of funny that way. I wouldn't really want to do that. I kind of leave these claws in, obviously, because you're gonna have these weird holes in his wrists for no reason. But these claws do look pretty awesome. They're just a plain gray. I mean, maybe they could have given me more of a silvery look to them to give them that adamantium look. But for a toy, it does look pretty good. This is pretty much how all my other Wolverines look for their claws. Then he's got decent ab articulation, so there's forward and there is backwards. Like the backwards quite well. It's kind of a limbo right there. And then he's got good side to side as well too. And then you got some swivel at the waist. He's got a bit of a ratcheting in there, so that's kind of nice. And then the legs will split out like that, so not bad. And then forward, really well done. And then backwards, about that far, not a whole heck of a lot. But he does also have some articulation in his thighs. So he's got a thigh cut there as well too, which is nice because it's kind of masked by all the line work and the detail that are in his pants and in his suit. So that's kind of cool that they did that. I like that it goes with everything. And then his knees, he's got a double jointed knee, so he goes back and kicks his own butt. And then he also has, he does not have a boot cut. I take that back. I was about to say he had a boot cut. No boot cut in this one, which is kind of strange because he is wearing boots, so you could have easily put some boot cut in there. Maybe just the shape of the boots. They didn't really want to mess up the sculpt, I guess. Whatever, not a big deal. And then you go down to the feet, and the feet, ballerina pose like that, not too bad, and then forward like that. And then you got a decent rocker as well, back and forth all the way around. It's got a good level of detail, good level of articulation as well too. Articulation that you kind of expect from a Wolverine. Maybe a boot cut could have been there, not a deal breaker though, nothing bad like that. And he doesn't have any pins either, so that's nice. He's a pinless looking dude. I appreciate that. But look at more of the detail. It's just I love his belt there. I like the softness of his, like the ears that are on his cowl, so you're not gonna break them, which is nice. Everything that is on this guy is really well done. I'm quite impressed with the level of detail and the amount of articulation, everything that you get with this guy. One little nitpick and gripe, I just kind of noticed looking at his face, the facial hair could have been a little more obvious. It looks like you can see the skin kind of through the facial hair. It's not the most clear image of the facial hair. It could have painted a little bit darker, giving it kind of like that 5 o'clock shadow, or I mean, he actually has a beard, I guess, at this point in the movie. He doesn't even have like the mutton chops going on. So they could have done that a little more obvious. They could have made that stand up just a little bit more. Just a little nitpick, little gripe, not a big deal. Could have been slightly better. And if we're gonna compare him to some other figures that I have, I got this Noir Spider, or Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse movie, Nicolas Cage Spider-Man. And he's actually about the same height as that figure right there. So obviously he's not a short king here. Like most times you get Wolverine, he's meant to be shorter. He kind of is with the same size as your standard Spider-Man figure, I would say. Just to compare him to another Wolverine, here we do have Wolverine with his cowboy hat, and you can see this Wolverine with the cowboy hat is quite a bit smaller, and this is like the more standard size Wolverine, whereas this is your Hugh Jackman sized Wolverine. And just to compare him to the Hulk, because you gotta have a Hulk if you're gonna have a Wolverine. That's where Wolverine was introduced in the comics. And I mean, in the movie, this is the and in the movie, this is the brown suit that he was wearing when you slightly saw Hulk just visible in his claws at that one point. So you can see he's quite a bit taller than most Wolverines would be compared to Hulk, but still quite a bit smaller than Hulk. And then this, I would say, is like my standard Wolverine. He's got the blue and the yellows and the tiger claws. This is the Wolverine 97 TV show, but it could be basically any Wolverine from the comic books or from the original TV show. That's what he's supposed to look like. This is the standard look that I think of with Wolverine. I got his cowl down, so he actually comes with a face that doesn't have his cowl on, whereas this guy doesn't, which is kind of a disappointment. Kind of wish I got that Hugh Jackman look to have the cowl down if I really wanted to. But again, just a little gripe that I'm doing a little bit of nitpicking. And yeah, obviously the size difference is pretty noticeable. But hey, all in all, I'll say first gift opened up. Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis Lightning. This guy is pretty sweet. He is a really well built, put together guy. Lots of detail. I do like the way this guy looks. I think you're buying this more for yourself, but I do appreciate it as well too. Even if I didn't like the movie as much as you did. Yes, I know. I had some gripes with the movie as well, but that doesn't mean I didn't still love it. I did quite enjoy that movie. It was really fun. I had a great time with it, and you know what? It's just good to have an action figure that represents your favorite Wolverine. Now I gotta choose between the red and the blue, and if I gotta go again with my second least favorite out of the three colors, it's probably gonna be red. Blue would be my second favorite color of all time. Be green, blue, and then red's up there, but it's not as high as blue. So I'm gonna have to open up the red packaging this time.